Greetings and what an eventful week this has been. Hopefully you're making progress every day. I had a great comment that came in here and I want to address it right away. Person wrote in after one of my posts and said, you know what? I feel like I have social media inadequacy. Social media inadequacy. I can't keep up with everybody else. Everybody's getting all these posts. I'm so far behind. What am I going to do? I'm freaking out. Okay, so that sounds like a mental condition. I think a new term, a new psychological term, social media inadequacy. So I got a couple things to say. And if you've been around me before, you know I never answer the question directly yet because there's always a question behind the question. So the question behind the question is, why are you so worried about it? Yeah, I understand that maybe you're not that well versed in social media yet, but it's something you now need to learn. So if you need to learn it, go learn it. But I've learned something a long time ago. Again, one of my master's teachers, Mac Newton, two-time world champion in Taekwondo, says he says never compete. Interesting, being a two-time world champion, he says never compete. You create, you don't compete. Now, you go into the ring, you're actually in competition, but you don't play your game at the effect of somebody else. In other words, if you spend your time comparing yourself to somebody else or comparing your results to somebody else, think what you've just done. You have just cut your effectiveness and your focus in half. Because half of you is focused on what other people are doing. The other half is focused on what you're doing. And then the second thing that happens is your little voice kicks in, that little voice that we all have saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not fast enough, I'm not this, whatever enough, I'm not blank enough. That triggers in and everything goes downhill after that. So it's a great question. But the thing you got to ask, forget about the social media part. What is it the part of you that feels the need to keep up with everybody else? Yeah, social media, for sure, man. It's like if you're not up to speed on that or you haven't done much marketing in that way, it's like trying to catch up to a speeding locomotive racing down the track and you're running as fast as you can and try to get in front of it. Stop. You're going to wear yourself out. You're not going to do that. Don't worry about that. Look, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, one thing that I've learned over the years through many mistakes and too many distractions is you got to create a plan. What's your plan? Step by step, methodically follow your plan. Look, if you need to learn more about marketing and social media, start learning now. There's a lot of free good content. If you want some of that, you go to our Business Skill for Entrepreneur Facebook group, and there's a lot of free content from my guys who are some of the best in the world. So go study, get that done. Everybody should be getting training right now in these times. So if you need to do it, get over your fear about doing it and your fear of inadequacy and learn how to do it, okay? In the meantime, follow a plan. So what? So they're getting 50,000 followers out there and you're getting 500. Who cares? The 500, if you follow the process, be yourself, create, add value, those 500 may be more valuable than somebody else's 50,000. So don't let that, all it is, your fear about social media inadequacy is a psychological issue. Don't worry about that. Don't try to catch up to that. Be aware of it. But if you go to bed at night, I can't keep up, there's too many things to do, too many things to learn, you're not going to be effective. Follow a plan. See, one of the things that I'm blessed with, I have some great friends. Being a Rich Dad Advisor and having the other Rich Dad Advisors and Robert as part of my advisory team, they're good because I have a tendency to do just what you do. I can panic, although I'm not catching up. I'm behind on this. Sit down, Blair. What's the plan? I had a session with Ken McElroy a couple weeks ago, changed my life again, changed my career, changed my business again. Because I'll say this again, if you're trying to do stuff on your own, my friend, that's old school. That's old school. Come out of that thing. There are a ton of people out there that can help you and support you and would love what you do and love to help you. And you don't have to do this all on your own. Now, if there's things you need to learn, like basic marketing and how to sell, every entrepreneur has got to know how to do that. The technical side, I don't know that much. I can flip on my camera and I can do a video. That's about the extent of what I know how to do. And you can do the same thing too. But the bigger question for everybody right now is it's good to do market research. It's good to see what other people do, but don't get caught up on I'm not as good as, I'm not up to speed with them, my competition's doing this. Look, don't worry about competition. I always say I take people out to play volleyball in some of our programs where we used to get together, and I say, don't worry about the competition. You got enough problems on your side of the net. You don't have to worry about what the competition's doing. Just focus on what you're doing. Your team, your business, your little voice. So I'm glad. The reason I'm addressing it is because I'm not so concerned about your social media problem. I'm more concerned about your need to compare, your need to keep up, your obsession with what other people are doing right now. You're solid in business. You're solid with what you got. You're solid with how you know how you can add value. Just do that step by step, one day at a time. And you know what? When the smoke starts to clear, you're doing the right thing. You might not make a fortune right now, but people will know you for the authentic you, for who you are and what you stand for and why you do what you do. And that'd be way more effective than you trying to catch up to a speeding locomotive and spend a lot of money, because that's the other bad thing that happens as an entrepreneur, and it's happened to me before. And what's happened is that because you're so desperate to keep up, that you fall prey to all the other promises. Well, I'll help you get leads, and I'll help you do this, and I'll help you do that. And, it's a guaranteed system, and you end up forking up money that you don't have, or money that's gone before you even spent it, for two reasons. First of all, because your little voice and your panic and your fear drove it, number one. And number two, you avoided the thing that you needed to do, was to basically learn some basic good entrepreneurial skills, like how to sell, how to build a team, how to market, and how to run some production and delivery. The basics of entrepreneurship. There's always people that can help you. So again, anybody watching this, as Mac Newton says, you create your plan, or you compete. And if you focus on competing or comparing, because it's kind of a misleading term, but if you focus on comparing yourself to what other people are doing, you have just divided yourself in half. Half of you is focused over here, the other half is focused here, and your little voice operates in the middle and takes you downtown. None of those are good. Stick to your plan. If you don't have one, sit down with someone. If you need some help, go to the Business Skills for Entrepreneurs in Crazy Times website and ask for some help. A lot of great professionals there that can support you. Okay, so I hope this helps, and get rid of your social media inadequacy issue. You'll become good at it faster than you think, and don't get caught up in all the hype. Okay. There's always room for good, solid entrepreneurs that add good, solid value. And when the smoke clears, they're going to be looking at you. Okay? Be awesome.